Billie Eilish left sobbing as Nat Wolff finally makes it come to pass. It was supposed to be just another quiet night, one of those rare, fragile moments of calm in a life constantly surrounded by flashing cameras, endless speculation, and a world that never stops watching. But for Billie Eilish, that night would become one she would never forget, for all the wrong reasons. For months, whispers had been building. Fans had noticed the subtle clues, the lingering glances during interviews, the way Nat Wolff's name would casually slip into conversations, the cryptic lyrics that felt just a little too real to be fiction. Social media detectives had been working overtime, piecing together timelines, analyzing body language, connecting dots that may or may not have existed. But Billie never confirmed anything. She kept it close. Private. Protected. Until now. The moment everything changed. The announcement didn't come from Billie. That's what made it hurt even more. It was Nat. In what was meant to be a heartfelt, honest interview, Nat Wolff finally said the words that sent shockwaves across the internet. Calm, composed, almost unaware of the storm he was about to unleash, he spoke about their connection, what they had shared, what it meant to him, and why he had decided to move forward. And just like that, the world knew. Not through Billie's voice. Not on her terms. Not in her timing. Billie's breaking point. Sources close to Billie described the moment she saw the interview. At first, silence. Then disbelief. Then something far more raw. Tears. Not the kind that come quietly and pass. These were deep, overwhelming, uncontrollable. The kind that shake you. The kind that come from a place far beneath the surface, where emotions aren't filtered, where vulnerability is impossible to hide. Because for Billie, this wasn't just a story going public. It was something real. Something she had tried to protect. Something she wasn't ready to let go of. What they had, and what was lost. Their connection had never been loud or flashy. No red carpet confirmations. No staged paparazzi walks. No perfectly curated Instagram reveals. Instead, it lived in the in-between moments. Late-night conversations. Shared creative energy. A bond that felt more emotional than performative. And maybe that's why it hit so hard. Because when something exists quietly, when it's built away from the noise, losing it feels louder than anything else. Nat's decision. Nat didn't speak out to hurt her. At least, that's what those close to him insist. They say he reached a point where staying silent felt dishonest, not just to the public, but to himself. That he wanted clarity. Closure. A sense of moving forward. But intention doesn't always soften impact. And for Billie, hearing it unfold publicly felt like the ground shifting beneath her. Fans react, and they're divided. Within minutes, social media exploded. Some fans supported Nat, praising him for his honesty and courage. Others stood firmly with Billie, calling the move insensitive, poorly timed, even heartbreaking. And then there were those caught in between, watching two people they admired navigate something painfully human in the most public way possible. Behind closed doors. What the world didn't see, was what happened after. The calls that weren't answered. The messages left unread. The quiet space where something once meaningful had existed. Billie, known for wearing her emotions openly through her music, suddenly went silent. No posts. No responses. No explanations. Just absence. And sometimes, silence says more than anything else. A story still unfolding. This isn't a clean ending. There's no dramatic final scene where everything gets resolved neatly. Because real emotions don't work like that. Maybe time will bring clarity. Maybe distance will bring peace. Maybe one day, they'll look back on this moment differently. But right now, it's raw. It's unfinished. And for Billie Eilish, it's a chapter she didn't choose to share, but one the world is now watching unfold. And somewhere, behind the headlines and speculation, A girl who gave so much of herself to the world is trying to piece together the parts she kept hidden. The parts that, for a moment, were hers alone. The internet didn't just react, it erupted. For weeks, rumors had been quietly circling around Billie Eilish and Nat Wolff. Subtle sightings, cryptic posts, and unexplained absences had fans piecing together a story that neither of them was ready to confirm. But what happened next? No one saw it coming. It all began on what seemed like an ordinary evening. Billie had just wrapped up a private studio session in Los Angeles. Those close to her said she had been unusually quiet lately, less playful, more introspective. The kind of silence that hints at something deeper. Something unresolved. Meanwhile, Nat had been on a completely different wavelength. Confident. Focused. And, as it turns out, ready. That night, Nat stepped into the spotlight, not through a red carpet or paparazzi shot, but through something far more powerful, a raw, unfiltered moment that would change everything. He posted. No teaser. No build-up. Just a single message that hit like a thunderstorm. Some things are too real to keep hidden anymore. Within minutes, fans flooded his page. Comments poured in, theories exploded, and speculation reached a fever pitch. But then, he went further. A video followed. In it, Nat spoke calmly, but with a weight in his voice that couldn't be ignored. He didn't dodge. He didn't sugarcoat. He told the truth as he saw it. About emotions. About timing. About a connection that had grown quietly behind the scenes, one that he could no longer pretend didn't exist. And that's when everything came to a head. Because Billie saw it. Sources say she watched the video alone. At first, she didn't react. Just stared. Processing. Replaying certain parts. Trying to understand not just what he said, but why he said it now. Then it hit her. The finality of it. The realization that something deeply personal, something she had protected, something she wasn't ready to define, had just been made public, without her. That's when the tears came. Not the quiet kind. Not the composed, camera-ready emotion fans are used to seeing from celebrities. This was different. Raw. Uncontrolled. The kind of sobbing that comes when your world shifts in a way you didn't choose. People close to Billie say she felt blindsided, not necessarily by the feelings, but by the timing. By the fact that something so delicate had been pushed into the open before she had found her own words for it. And yet, there was more beneath the